Marriage, they say, is built on trust. But what happens when the trust you build your life on shatters like glass? For years, I thought I had the perfect wife. Sarah was smart, beautiful, elegant, the kind of woman people admired at parties. We met in college, built our careers side by side, and when I made my first million, she was right there celebrating with me. But what I didn't know was that while I was building empires, she was building lies. It began with small signs. A phone turned face down. Late-night meetings with vague explanations. A coldness that slipped into our home like a draft you can't quite find the source of. I ignored it. I told myself we were just busy, stressed, maybe even drifting, until the night I walked into my own house and heard laughter. Male laughter. My mansion, the one I worked 20 years for, echoed with voices that weren't mine. I froze in the hallway listening, and then I saw it. Sarah, wrapped around another man, drinking wine at my dining table. My dining table. Rage is too small a word for what I felt, but I didn't storm in. I didn't break anything. I stepped back silent because revenge requires patience. The very next day, she filed for divorce. As if I didn't know, as if I hadn't seen. And her demands? Half of everything. The mansion, the cars, even my company shares. She thought she had already won. What Sarah didn't know was that I had spent years protecting myself. I had established trusts, offshore accounts, and airtight legal protections. Everything she thought she was about to take from me had already been moved, months before her betrayal. What remained in her reach was an illusion, a shadow of wealth. When the court day arrived, Sarah walked in with her lover sitting smugly in the back row. She wore diamonds I had bought her, a smile that said victory. But when the judge began reading the documents my lawyers presented, that smile vanished. Not only was she denied access to my estate, but her lover was exposed too, linked to shady business dealings Sarah had unknowingly tied herself to. By the end of the trial, not only did she walk away empty-handed, but her new life came crashing down before it could even begin. Her lover was under investigation, her accounts frozen, her reputation in ruins. And me. I walked out of that courtroom free. I went back to my mansion, poured a glass of whiskey, and looked out over the city. She thought she could destroy me with betrayal, but she didn't know I had already secured everything that mattered. The last move was mine. And that's the thing about betrayal. It teaches you not just who your enemies are, but how strong you really are when you refuse to break. So here's my message. Never let betrayal define you. Let it sharpen you. Let it make you untouchable. Because in the end, Sarah didn't just lose me. She lost the empire she thought she could steal, and I stayed standing.